All right, welcome everybody. My name is Corey DeLeon. I am the current and outgoing president of the Seal Beach Chamber. Super proud of our chamber and our community, and just wanted to kind of give everybody a quick synopsis of what's been happening in our world since our last general chamber meeting, which was in March. So the last time we met was in March at O'Malley's when Governor Newsom began the announcements that would eventually include a stay-at-home order. Since then, our world has continued to change on a daily basis and if not an hourly basis. Our board of directors made some early decisions to include all businesses in all of our interactions, regardless of membership, to assist wherever, however, and whenever we had the opportunity. Early on, that meant creating a Facebook page that was the support Seal Beach Seal Beach Restaurants that has grown to over 1,500 members and is widely supported all over in our community. We're super proud of that. We created a text thread with local business owners to keep them in the know with our rapidly changing information that was coming out and that affected their livelihoods. Thanks to our amazing director, Mackenzie, we have updated our website to reflect the most up-to-date information. We've kept social media up to date, intentionally reached out to those businesses in our community to reshare their posts, again, regardless of whether they were a member or not. If they were a member of our community, we sought to support their business in any way that we could. We personally reached out to every chamber member through our Chamber Connection outreach program with the ambassadors. It's been a very successful program. It's a smaller group. We have found at the chamber, and it was a directive from the board that we've talked about over the years, this year, that what was important to us is that we had a connection with our members, and through that connection, and we found that smaller groups rather than a larger group like this often allowed for more communication, more assistance. In each Chamber Connection group, there is an ambassador that leads the program, and there's also a board member. So if there are issues that come up within a small group, that board member can then take that issue directly to the board of directors and address it immediately, so we can better meet the needs of our members. We created alliances, and we've had these, but we really fostered them, alliances with the City Council, key members of City Hall, and elected officials at the county, state, and federal levels to make sure that all the information that was coming to us in a proper way. We sat in meetings and as programs from the CARES Act that eventually became the PPP and the EIDL programs, and then we absolutely shared that information. Some of those examples are off to the left, and some of the things that we created. Oh, we're going to skip over that because apparently that's a double slide. We replaced our breakfasts with some informational webinars. So what we have been doing on the second Thursday of the month is we replaced our breakfast meetings with informational webinars that included Seal Beach City Council staff and some information from Congressman Ruda and Senator Tom Umberg. We actually hosted Congressman Ruda as he walked Main Street to learn firsthand how businesses were being affected by COVID-19 and how some of the programs that were enacted were affecting their businesses. It was a wonderful experience to kind of not only hear from businesses directly, but to see and feel Congressman Ruda's intentional effort to support those businesses. About 2 months into COVID, the COVID reality, the chamber actually shifted from being kind of COVID informational centric to highlighting all the amazing things that were happening in our community by spotlighting our hometown heroes in our newsletter. We were able to highlight people like Corporal Jordan McCarrion. I'm going to not probably say that right. He is the social media guru behind the Seal Beach Police social media. If you aren't following them, it's been a wonderful interactive experience during this whole thing. The Seal Beach PD has really opened themselves up to the community and making sure that our community feels heard in a time when not all police have been respected. We got to highlight people like Manny Govia, who included Seal Beach in a program that while our restaurants were almost at a period when our restaurants were shut down, he contracted directly with Seal Beach restaurants to help feed employees. So not only did it feed the employees of public services, but it gave a much needed boost. We've got David Nett from our Park and Recs department who pivoted his workload in the Park and Recs department to deliver meals to seniors, and that was the whole Park and Recs department in the city of Seal Beach. And then also Chelsea Fulton, Natalie Binder, and Jill Cronin, 3 Seal Beach moms who rallied together to support businesses for frontline workers. These are only a couple examples of all of the amazing things that were happening in Seal Beach, and we were super excited to bring them if some people hadn't heard about all these amazing things. Again, off to the left, you'll see other of our hometown heroes. You'll see 320 Main and Stan Blackwell and Carrie Logue. There were so many. We had people singing that were doing porch concerts and all sorts of good, amazing things that really kind of defined our community. In addition to that, we also had our ambassadors group, which is our frontline. Those are often the people that you will see most in our chamber. They went ahead and shared some sidewalk chalk. Here's a couple examples. All up and along Main Street, there were positive messages to welcome back our businesses and really just be so grateful that our community is who it is. Our chamber continued to reach out to our members and through virtual meetings. And you can see at the top left-hand corner an example of a meeting, many of which you may see coming up. We have our community over coffee chats. They're casual, fun, less structured conversations designed to allow you to get to know the community. Our last meeting, we played 2 truths and a lie, and really got a chance to interact with some members of our community that we didn't, obviously there's always some good stuff that we don't know about people, and it really gave us an opportunity to get to know people on a personal level. We would love for anybody to continue to join us at our next coffee chat, which will be Friday, July 17th at 9 o'clock in the morning. We also have our Let's Do Lunch. So Let's Do Lunch was a program that we had, prior to this. This was our daily, during the day network opportunity. We came to realize, or the board came to realize, that not everybody can meet these breakfast meetings because we're meeting at 9, but usually they're at 7:30, and sometimes that doesn't work for everybody's schedule. Our fantastic marketing guru and membership chair, Junie Bonico, came up with this Let's Do Lunch. And of course, we pivoted and we moved that to a virtual experience. In the Let's Do Lunch, this is more business oriented. This is where we're going to connect and make sure that everybody understands who and what we do. And we often break up into small groups to better interact. Our virtual experience has allowed us to do that, and it's been really successful. Our next Let's Do Lunch will be Wednesday, July 22nd at 12:30. We are super excited. As you can tell, the Chamber has not stopped working since all of this craziness. We're super excited to restart our Business Edge series. It's going to be a series of webinars, and we're going to feature ways for you and your business to be on the forefront of success. Our first webinar is going to be with Felicia Gonzalez, a board member, who works for Edward Jones. She's going to be presenting a little bit about what's going on kind of in our community, as well as some requirements that businesses may not know. Okay, in addition to all of that, we watched excitedly as Seal Beach began to open, and then most recently we're heartbroken as our beloved restaurants were once again forced to close for dine-in service right before the 4th of July. It's a double hit for a beach community like ours, which we are super summer centric, and oftentimes 4th of July is one of the biggest weekends of the year. So we had all sorts of businesses that were just getting back on their feet, many businesses that had invested in their restaurants to accommodate the new social distancing guidelines, and had then purchased inventory to meet that anticipated need of the 4th of July weekend. It was nobody's fault, but it was a big hit on our restaurants. You will meet him soon enough, but we've been super proud to partner with the city, and there hasn't been a stronger advocate than Les Johnson, our new community services director. And again, you'll see something on the left. You'll see a flyer that we created on the left-hand side. Les Johnson has really been working with our businesses to create some outdoor seating. And this was prior. So we had some of this infrastructure in place to allow our businesses some additional seating, and which then became their only seating. It's been a fantastic arrangement. He has been working overtime to make sure that those needs for our community are being met in record time. And our restaurants are now you can provide meals al fresco, where dine-in service is prohibited. In addition, Seal Beach has stepped up and to shut down the parking lot at Main and Electric, and then additionally at Eisenhower Park to provide additional seating. So you can take your meals from your favorite restaurants here in Seal Beach, and if there is no outdoor seating available, the city has provided additional seating to meet those needs of our community and our businesses. We're not done though. We received an email, and it's something that we've been working with the city on. We know that face masks are a little bit of a contention at this point, but we are starting a campaign. We need everybody to do their part and to keep Seal Beach open. It's that simple. Right now, that means social distancing and face coverings. We don't know how everybody feels about face coverings or social distancing, and that's okay. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But we do know how everybody feels about Seal Beach. And for right now, this is what we have to do to make sure that we don't retract in any way. Oh, and I have a correction again. So apparently I was completely off on my slide. The Let's Do Lunch is the 22nd and Felicia's is the 29th. So I will get that corrected. I apologize. This is what happens when you put together a power presentation at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So unfortunately, it's time to get real. So we've been doing some really fantastic things, and I'm so proud of our chamber and how we have continually focused on meeting the needs of our members and really our community as a whole. But most of our events have been canceled through the end of the year. That is our COVID reality. As a chamber, our events represent approximately 50% of our income. The other 50% represents our membership dues, and unfortunately, we have a record number of late pays during this catastrophic time. We get it. Early on, the Chamber Board had offered a 90-day extension on membership, March 15th to 6/15th, so that has now expired. And the first time this month, and as long as I can remember, the Chamber had to dip in their reserves. It's a pretty significant time for the Chamber. We are asking all members to pay their membership if at all possible, so we can continue providing the valuable services that we offer. We exist based solely now on membership. So it's an awkward position. We've always been we've been in a very strong position for a long time, thanks to the dedicated efforts of our event chairs and our members. But this is going to be a different time. To help, we are offering a 2-pay plan, which has never been offered with our chamber before. If you go to our website, you have an option to do a 2-pay plan. It does require an automatic credit card through our website. And additional to that, for existing members, if our existing members are willing to register their credit card for automatic renewals, we're going to give you a $10 credit off of your membership. We're doing everything that we can to continue to be of service to our members. All right. Believe it or not, we have some fabulous new members, and I wanted to highlight those. We have, within our membership, we have our normal membership, and then we have our newest level, or reconstructed level. That is a bronze level sponsorship. Bronze level sponsorship gives you your membership, and it also gives you access to some advertising on our website, and as well as on agendas and everything else. Every one of these members and their logo will be noted as a bronze level sponsor moving forward for the next year. So we do want to welcome Jimmy Mercutio of 320 Main. He signed on right before our world turned upside down. We also want to welcome Alicia Merriman, and I actually saw Alicia on as one of our attendees. We're super excited to have Alicia. She is our newest bronze level sponsor. We're excited to get her logo, which is fantastic, up on our website, and we encourage everybody to look. If you are looking for tax services, we want to make sure that you're looking to our members first. It's really important to support our members during this time. We have Danielle Gay, and I also saw her as one of the attendees. And I'm so sorry, Danielle, I'm going to mess this up. It was Zorik and Gay. They are attorneys at law. They are trust attorneys, super important in Seal Beach. And she is a fantastic person. Got to know her at our Christmas party, and I encourage everybody to reach out, especially if you're looking at a trust. Reach out to one of our members here. We have Connie Medina of Clarity Consulting. She is fantastic, and she does a lot of CEO training and process training. We are really looking forward to kind of her powerhouse. She is also one of our board nominees that you will meet. We have Jane Cadell of JTC Real Estate, which looks like it's a part of the KW Coastal Properties. That's on their website. I encourage anybody that's looking for a home to consider Jane. And we have Nicole Ingsworth Muller of It Takes a Village Senior Care. And you can see it's really fun. She was a member of a different senior care. She's kind of constructed her own. As our parents get older, this is somebody that you may want to reach out to. All right, I'm going to quickly jump into online voting. We are super excited. This year, our nomination voting will be online. It's going to be through a link through electionrunner.com. The voting will be July 13th at 8 a.m. through July 27th at 4 p.m. Our members, so all of our members are going to get a unique voter code exclusive to that member emailed to you. There's going to be one vote per member, and emails will be pulled off the chamber directory on the Seal Beach website. So you should have at some point received a phone call or a notification from one of our chamber members. Just a quick note, you do need to be in good standing to vote. And we're just kind of going through everything there. Let's see. So moving forward, so if you need to perhaps change your perhaps update your email, you have exactly 1 day to do that. We are going to start gathering those emails, and so we do encourage everybody to go to our website, sealbeachchamber.org and update your your email, or just even check it to make sure that your email is the one that email is the one that you want it to go to. Okay, so quickly, because I want to get on to the important part where you get to meet some people. So included in our elections is also we're going to be voting for Business of the Year, Business Person of the Year, and Volunteer of the Year. So we are including past recipients. Our Business of the Year, and we have Papa D of Ferguson Realty. I see that from 2018. We encourage all of our members to really reach out, look at businesses around the community, and we actually always seek to really support those businesses. So in addition to electing your officers, you also have an opportunity to allow another business to rise up and focus on that. So all of the qualifications are in there. This is a little snippet of what's going to go out for the elections. All right. More importantly, I wanted to give you a chance to meet some of our people. So I want to introduce first Diana Bean, and I'm going to stop my sharing, stop the PowerPoint, and then we can get a chance to meet her personally, and I'd like all of the participants to give us just a little bit about who they are and why they'd like to be our next Seal Beach Chamber board member. All right, Diana.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Corey. Hello, fellow chamber members, and that I know quite a bit of you, and I'm usually not so nervous when I speak, but I am this morning. Listen, this chamber has been such a blessing for us. We moved into Seal Beach in 2011. We hadn't even finished signing the lease on our apartment when we joined and went to the first chamber breakfast. I felt welcomed when I walked into the chamber office and met Esther, and Gina was at the office at that time. So our office has changed a little bit on staff, but it is still pretty awesome. My husband and I are volunteers. At heart, we just love doing everything and helping our community. We came from a small community, and Seal Beach just is a blessing. You're just blessed if you can live here. But with that, I have volunteered pretty much to do everything. We joined the ambassadors when the ambassadors were first invented by our loving, beloved Esther Kenyon. And that's been 9 years since we've been serving with the Seal Beach Chamber. I joined, I have a health and wellness business, and there was an opportunity to become the committee chair for the Be More Healthy Expo right off the get-go. So I've been chairing that and loving every minute of it to make it what it is today without the help of our ambassadors and everybody. I've served on every committee chair, a committee opportunity that I can. I love meeting businesses. We are a small business ourselves, so it's so important to know and like and be trusted by your small business community. I served as the executive director for the chamber, which was for a small snippet, and got to know what it is, what the chamber is all about. And, you know, I just want to serve a little bit more by becoming a board of director. And it's not for an ego or anything. It's really, I have a lot that I can bring to it. And one of the things that they always call on me to do is money. And right now the chamber is, because of all of our events being canceled, we're going to need money. We're going to need members. We're going to need the sponsors. And I love going out and asking that. And I know that that's what I can bring right now to the community and to the chamber, what we need at this point. So if anybody has any questions for me, wants to know a little bit more about me, you know, email me, call me. I'd be happy to share what some of the ideas that I might have and that to join this beautiful cast of board members that we have. So thank you, Corey, for the opportunity to share.
And Diana, why don't you go ahead and put your contact information in the chat function, and people are using the chat, and we'll allow, you know, so you can have a little bit of information. I next want to introduce the very handsome, one of our incumbents. He's currently serving on our chamber board, Mr. Stan Blackwell of 60 Minute Spectacles.
Hi there. Good morning. I'm Stan Blackwell. I own 60 Minute Spectacles in Los Alamitos. I'm on the board at present, and I'm also a chamber ambassador. I've done a lot of community service in Los Alamitos also. As their chair of their ambassadors at one time. I no longer am with that chamber. I exclusively with the Seal Beach Chamber now because I like being of service to my community, and I love being of service to the Seal Beach community in particular. I just like want to be a part of the board just to support the city and, to offer ideas that might be able to help them, more effectively support, business in the city of Seal Beach. Want to use my experience as chamber board members of not only this chamber, but Huntington Beach Chamber and Los Alamitos Chamber to bring a little bit of my experience to the Seal Beach Chamber board. And kind of spread the word about, just how amazing the Seal Beach Chamber is, which I know it is. And assisting keeping an open line of communication between the members, and the board members and the ambassador. And I just love being a part of this city, and this is what I want to do. I've been on the board for this last year, and it's been a wonderful experience. We've been able to do, before this COVID thing hit, we were able to do a lot of community service work that really helped businesses, and we've been able to get more businesses on board. And our big challenge right now is to try to figure innovative ways to generate money for the chamber and for the businesses in the city. And so that's what I want to bring to that's what I think I bring to the board is try to bring some fresh ideas of how we can stimulate business and stimulate, not just business for the city, but business for the chamber. So that's why I want to be on the board.
Well, Stan, that's great. If you can put your contact information in the chat function, then everybody can reach out to you. And next, I want to introduce Mr. Frank Carvajal. He is also a current board member on our board, and fantastic. He is he chaired the summer concert series that had some difficulties this year, not to any fault of his own. So we're really excited to have him talk a little bit about himself and why he wants to continue on the board.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank Carvajal. I'm with American Beachside Brokers. My wife and I own a small little office in Huntington Beach and now here in Seal Beach. We've been doing business for about 15 years. I've been part of the member since 2008 when we first opened our office in Seal Beach. And I've served as a chair for the Christmas tree lighting ceremony with Rosie Ritchie. Over the years, I probably did about 7 years on the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Additionally, I've also helped with the car show, and I especially love helping out with the Thanksgiving dinner. Having said that, I also like to volunteer. I'm a Lion, and I am currently one of the board members for PAC 16 Cub Scouts in Seal Beach. I've been spending a lot of time with the Boy Cub Scouts in the past 5 years, and most of the stuff that I do for them is raise money. Having said that, I currently part of the Seal Beach concerts. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do anything this year. It seems to be a very fun event to be part of. I'm looking forward to be able to serve one more time so we could get that going with Mr. Darren next year. And I enjoy being part of the chamber. I know most of the people, and I enjoy serving the community. Thank you very much.
So really excited to introduce our next nominee, Deb Matchin of Market Snag. And she is also the past president of the Seal Beach Chamber, ready to throw herself in the ring one more time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deb Matchin, and I'm a Seal Beach resident and business owner since 2008. My business is Market Snag, and we provide online and traditional marketing to small and medium-sized companies locally and throughout the U.S. But I'm probably most known in this town for my volunteerism and community service. I currently sit on the boards of Save Our Beach, Friends of the Library, and LOTE. I was on the Seal Beach Chamber Board from 2009 through 2014, serving as Vice President, President, and past President, as well as Chair of the Community Thanksgiving Dinner and Car Show Media. And I did that during and for about 4 years following my time on the board. Actually, I'm still Car Show Media, so a million years after the board. As a proud Seal Beach Lion also, I've been an announcer for the Christmas Parade and Fish Fry for about 7 years. I was a planning commissioner for the city for over 4 years, serving as chair of the planning commission for 2 of those. From 2014 to 15, I worked closely with the city and other volunteers as the co-chair of the marketing committee that put on the city's centennial celebration. And I was also on the board of Run Seal Beach for 5 years. I've done a bunch of other things I'm not going to bring up here. I've remained an active member of the chamber since rotating off of the board in 2014, volunteering at many events and sitting on several committees, one of which I still sit on is the marketing committee and the Thanksgiving dinner, my very favorite and closest to my heart. I think what I can offer the chamber at this time comes largely from my marketing experience, as well as my relationships that I've built with the city, the Seal Beach business owners, the city staff and officials, and local nonprofit organizations over the past 12 years. Due to the pandemic, the chamber, along with our businesses and nonprofit organizations, had to cancel events that were revenue producing and very important to the bottom line, like the car show, the health fair, and others. Not only do those events bring in vital income to the chamber, but visitors to our shops, restaurants, and service providers. If elected, I will work with my fellow chamber board members to revitalize and restore businesses to our beloved Seal Beach. Thanks so much, guys. I'll put my information in the chat.
Thanks, Deb. All right. We now have Connie Medina of Clarity Consulting. Super excited to hear from her.
Good morning, everyone. A little bit about me and my business quickly before I jump into my why story. I work with service-based businesses and help them overcome overwhelm and frustration that comes with that particular industry and the struggles to grow a service-based business, and help them to see what their business and their work looks like when they're actually operating at 100%, which feels good and fun and confident, and help them get over that overwhelm and frustration. So I am a new member to the chamber. I have had the pleasure of meeting many people so far and done some one-on-one calls with people in the last few weeks, and thank you for those of you who've made time. So you might be wondering, you just joined the chamber. Yes, I joined during COVID. I am fully paid up, prepaid for my membership. And the reason I joined is because several people had told me that this chamber is awesome. And I finally came and checked it out for myself and could feel the sense of community here in this chamber that is incredibly clear and different from several other chambers around the LA and Orange County area and other networking organizations. You can feel the support, you can feel the willingness to connect. and get to know each other as people and as fellow business owners. And I think that's really special. And that's what drew me into the organization. But and I'm a longtime Rossmore resident, lived in Rossmore for 15 years. All my kids went through the LaSalle schools, and have many fond memories of walking on Main Street. My son has a beloved surfboard necklace from the Shell shop. So we've had many great ice cream walks on Main Street in the last few weeks as well. But when I do something, I do it 100%. So when I joined and was presented with the opportunity of potentially joining the board, I jumped in with both feet. I'm really excited to get an opportunity to not only work with the chamber at large as a member, but to help support the team on the board and help them to just achieve what it is that they want, right? There's so many challenges that we're faced with right now. And I think for a lot of us, it could be, hey, let me just turn inward and focus on my business. But for me, I love the challenge that lies ahead for us as a chamber organization, and am excited about the possibility of working with the leadership team to help us stay financially healthy, help us make changes in how we work together as an organization, and ultimately stay true to the focus of the organization, which is to help all of our community business members really grow and thrive even through this challenge that we're in. So thank you.
I always forget to take myself off mute. Very excited. Thank you so much, Connie, for giving us a glimpse into why I'm, like I said, I'm super excited just for everything that you're bringing to the table. I want to introduce Matt Pixa of My Portfolio Guide, leader in our community, and our next nominee.
Thanks, Corey, and good morning, Seal Beach. Really happy to be here, and I know we're in such a kind of unusual world. Best I can say is I explained this to my kid because this morning they always ask me, how many meetings do you have today? And I said, you know what, I've got one that I'm really looking forward to, and it's with the Seal Beach Chamber. And yeah, sometimes my kids try to say, well, what do you do? And I'll tell you what I do in a second, but I explained to them what the chamber was, and in doing so, I kind of found really more of a crystallization as to what my why is behind that. So just by a quick way of introduction, my name is Matt Pixa. I'm a president and founder of My Portfolio Guide. I've been doing this for 24 years, 10 years here in Seal Beach, and we're a wealth management and financial planning firm. And prior to doing that, I worked for a number of companies, Wall Street companies, and I was always on a chamber of some sort. Matter of fact, I'd argue that I was probably on too many chambers. And now I'm only on one. And I love this town. I've tried to move. I've gone elsewhere out of state, different parts of the state, and I'm always back here, and I'm here to stay. So Seal Beach is definitely my home. I have a passion for the city itself. And I know we all keep saying the same things, but it truly is a unique community. I don't think there's a better chamber around, and I've been, like I say, to several, small, large, etc. But my why was in explaining to my own kids as to what this thing is, and I think the operative word is commerce. And when you go to a chamber meeting, you're not going there for the scrambled eggs or a coffee. Hopefully not. That's part of it. But these people that we're with are fantastic. And one of my passions, that is what I do for a living, is helping people. I'm not a nonprofit, I'm not an artist, but I love seeing things be created, and you can do that by helping people. And the word commerce to me is, of course, business, but I don't just help people within my own business. I love introducing someone to an industry I have zero idea, but I know it'll help them. So I know that's kind of a nebulous category, but I'm truly, I think one of my skill sets is connecting people and finding solutions. That said, I'll give you one quick example, but a few years ago, I created what's called Beach Cities Business Group. And the core group of members actually came from the chamber because there were people that I felt were quality and really invested in the community. So with that, I would love to find ways to infuse some new life, as well as interesting ways to connect folks, because there's a lot of different ways. And this is a case in point. we're adapting to like I say, a very unusual world, and I think there's more chapters to it. So looking forward to contributing, and I hope I get a chance to do that. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Matt. Next, I want to introduce Matthew Thomas of AFLAC and one of our own chamber ambassadors.
Hello, Chamber. Thank you so much, Corey, for the opportunity to allow me to speak. So hopefully everyone can hear me properly. I am Matthew Thomas. As I say, as Corey mentioned, I do work for AFLAC in the Business Solutions Division. A quick little background on me. I am number 6 out of 7 kids, born and raised in Rossmore. Went to St. Hedwig School to modern day Loyola Marymount. So if that hasn't created a kind of a theme, that seems pretty obvious there. And then from there, the reason, a little bit of quick background on me professionally, which has led me to where I am at today. Out of college, I had the pleasure of working for the E&J Gallo Winery, where I worked my way up and at the age of 25, I actually ran and managed their entire liquor distributor in Las Vegas. So I had to learn operations, I had to learn office management, I had to learn dealing with unions. I managed all the business, all transactions, and did all trade marketing for Nevada and California, and dealt with the hotels, casinos, restaurants, every single grocery store, convenience store, anything that sold booze, I sold it, and I had my distributor do that. From there, I pivoted to was a financial advisor, a stockbroker for a little through the wonderful years of the Great Recession, for many years, where I managed over 215 million in assets under management. And now I have my own business as well as with AFLAC. So why I share the past is because from sales to marketing, creative marketing, innovative marketing, to management, being able to read books, because even now as we pivot and we're working on a somewhat anemic budget, we have to make sure that every dollar is spent wisely and find creative ways to raise money, so the chamber continues to thrive, and the greater Seal Beach community continues to rebuild and reconstruct and thrive once again. Because, like I said, this city has given me so much. This is the least that I could do, is to give my services back to the city. So thank you so much. Oh, and then I'll send my information in the chats below.
Super fun when I start talking, and it's super fun when I stop talking. All right, unfortunately, Paul Rice was not able to join us. He's the owner of Main Street Cyclery, and has quite a bit to offer us. And Renee Shepard of Pathways to Independence was also not able to join us. But you know who's here, and I'm super excited to hear from him, is our own Dick Douglas, or as you may know him, Papa D from Ferguson Realty. He is one of our ambassadors, one of our huge go-getters this year. Super excited to hear what he has to say.
Thank you, Corey. I hope everybody can hear me. We are with Ferguson Realty. My daughter-in-law, Kristen, works with me. We sell in Long Beach and in Seal Beach. It's interesting, in Long Beach, we sell to new families who want to live in a tree-lined street. And then in the Seal Beach, we sell to people from Palos Verdes, Rancho Bernardo. We had people from Martinez last weekend. So Ferguson Realty is really a good thing for us. But what I'd like to say, my why was, we were part of the car show a year ago, and we had a blast. We had a tent, we had a table, we had everybody come by. It was more fun. but I got to meet the people on the board and the members of the Chamber of Commerce, and I realized they're really friendly, nice people, and they're all willing to work together. And I thought, this is something we could do. Now, Jane and I have 4 kids. We're all married, so we really have 8 kids, and we have 9 grandkids. And what happens during Thanksgiving is all the families are like, well, we're going to this family for Thanksgiving, and oh, we got to go there for Thanksgiving. And so we decided that we would volunteer and work with Tim and Bob and Deb and work for the Chamber Thanksgiving dinner. What a blast. Kristen and I put up posters on Main Street. A couple from out of town came by, saw the poster, walked over to the office for the Chamber and volunteered to help us. What a success. So from volunteering for that, then I volunteered to be an ambassador. And I just want you to know, volunteer, because you never know what you can do. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dick. All right, and then we're going to get onto the real meat and potatoes, where a lot of you are very interested, and I am very interested to hear what's being said. But I want to talk about one more candidate, Carlton Okamoto. He asked me to read this, and so I have it up on the screen. I'm Carlton Okamoto. I've been honored to have served on the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce for the past year. I live locally. I spend much of my time in Seal Beach with my family supporting local business. I've been with Boeing Douglas for 34 years, along with leading Boeing to move Seal Beach and setting up the customer support 24/7 operations center in 2013. A little known fact is he's also the one that really encouraged Boeing to get involved in the Christmas parade. I am leading current Boeing efforts helping airlines carry COVID-19 humanitarian, let's see if I can read this, humanitarian aid on passenger airplanes, hoping that the Chamber and the city have benefited from Boeing's and my Chamber involvement. I will work with the Chamber on ideas of how Boeing can still support the Chamber, local businesses, and the city as we move forward during these especially challenging times. Boeing has also benefited from my involvement since I communicate information from the community to the Boeing team. My apologies for not delivering this message in person. However, I also lead a team that's responsible for the safety of Boeing airplanes and had an important meeting during this time. So one of the things that the Chamber did is Boeing is a significant sponsor of the Chamber, and now every Boeing member is kind of every Boeing employee is a member of our Chamber, an associate member of our Chamber. That allows them all of the discounts that we allow up and down through our Chamber members, and it's been a very important partnership. We have really enjoyed having Carlton on our board. He is an incumbent. All right. Now, without further ado, because if you are like me, you want to hear from this gentleman. I have spoken to him. I've spoken about him earlier. Les Johnson, the Community Development Director for the City of Seal Beach, has literally helped change the face of how we perceive business to be interacted. Seal Beach is quickly becoming a business-friendly city, and really always has been. But at his heart, he's really working hard. One of the things that came under his purview is a small business relief grant program where businesses here in Seal Beach can receive up to $10,000 worth of grants. He has put together it's kind of some guidelines, and I want to have him speak a little bit about the grant program, how it may affect your business, and how the City of Seal Beach continues to support businesses here in Seal Beach. Les?
Good morning, Corey. Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you for the invitation to be a part of the breakfast meeting this morning. I just real quick shout out to you and the Chamber as a whole. It's just this is obviously very trying, unprecedented times, but the Chamber, our relationship with the Chamber here at the city has been invaluable, and your effort and your team's effort these last few months especially have just been incredible. You've gone well above and beyond what I'm accustomed to in my 25, almost 30 years of experience. And it makes it that much easier to work through these difficult moments when you have partnerships like we do here at the city with the chamber. And thank you for putting this on. I know I've missed the breakfast meeting since we last met at O'Malley's, and Matt, I do miss the scrambled eggs and coffee. So, but I do appreciate everybody being a part of this. It was also great to hear from all the candidates. You've got a very qualified group and a tough decision ahead of you, but boy, the chamber's in good hands going forward, definitely with hearing from everyone. Wanted to take a moment just to talk with you about the city's Small Business Relief Grant Program. We've heard from a number of you over these last few months and the struggles that you're all facing. I think every business here within the city of Seal Beach has been negatively impacted in one way, shape, or form over what's transpired over the last 90 to 120 days. And it's been challenging. It's been very difficult. There's been some very hard stories, I guess, that we've had to hear from people in our community, and things that I know 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I never would have thought we would hear. And it's just been very, very difficult. One positive bit of news is that we did receive notice from the Orange County Supervisor Michelle Steele's office that the county, who received a very large amount of CARES Act funding, that the county supervisors decided to distribute that money out to local businesses. And though there was a difference of opinion amongst the 5 supervisors, Michelle Steele's office quickly said, we're distributing directly to all of our cities, and also with a directive that 100% of that money has to be used for grants to small businesses, qualifying small businesses. So that's $562,000 that we've received recently. And again, 100% of that money is required to go to benefit our Seal Beach small businesses. It's taken us a bit of time to get this up and running. As you can imagine, there's a lot of interest in this, and it's quite a process that we need to go through. But we hope that at the end of the day, about 70 to 80 of our small businesses will be awarded grant funding from this amount. We're obviously very thankful for the funding that's been allocated to us, but we realize it's not going to be enough. It really is a small amount, and that we're not going to be able to distribute the money to every business that is in need of that and will be applying for it. But we're hopeful that there'll be additional funding somewhere down the road. There's been a lot of talk about that, and we're hopeful that that will end up trickling down to our local businesses in the future as well. We're relying upon a nonprofit agency to assist us with this. It's the Orange County Inland Empire Small Business Development Center. Maybe some of you have had experience with them. They are quite the organization that provide a tremendous amount of resources, obviously geared towards small businesses. And they are going to help us administer this program. And they've been doing that for a number of Orange County cities with quite a bit of success. So we're excited to have them on board and partnering with us to be able to navigate through the application and distribution process of these funds. So in summary, the city's website is probably going to be your best resource with regards to the general information associated with the program. But just to give you a bit of the highlights associated with it, there are basically 3 grant amounts that will be available, and it depends on the number of employees that you have. So if it's from 1 to 5 employees, there is a grant amount of up to $5,000. 6 to 10 employees, up to $7,500, and then 11 to 30 employees, up to $10,000 available. And again, these are grant monies. They are not. It's not to be repaid. There is a list of eligibility requirements associated with this. So just really quickly to cover a few of those, the business has to be independently owned and operated. It has to be located in Seal Beach and be within a commercial or industrial space. It has to be in good standing with the city. It has to have a Seal Beach business license currently and has had one for the last at least 6 months. And again, there has to be a maximum of 30 full-time or equivalent employees or less. So, and I say equivalent because there's a lot of our small businesses have part-time employees, and that's at a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you have 2 part-time employees, it isn't an hour counting. If you have 2 32-hour part-time employees, that's considered 1 full-time equivalent, just to clarify that. And then also the businesses, their revenue has to be, 15 million or less per year over the last 3 years. And I want to mention too, all of this criteria is not Seal Beach specific, but it has to do with the CARES Act funding associated with this. So keep that in mind as well. And there also are one of the following criteria. You have to have been deemed a non-essential business and were forced to close during COVID-19, or sales have been down more than 25% over the last 3 months, or you must have laid off at least 1 part-time or full-time employee, or 1 or more employee contracted the COVID-19 while at work. So it's fairly broad, and again, just one of those items would qualify you for being able to apply for the grant. We have grant webinars available. We just had one yesterday afternoon, and there will be another one coming up next Tuesday. Let's see, is that Tuesday? Yes, next Tuesday the 14th at 2 o'clock. So if you're able to join in, there'll be a very comprehensive overview provided by the Small Business Development Center with regards to the program. They will be available to answer any questions you may have. And again, if you go to the city's website and our webpage, there's a really easy hyperlink to register for that webinar, again, next Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We just opened the application period this morning at 8 o'clock, and it will remain open until 5 o'clock on the 17th. So a little over a week in time to apply for this. There is, again, a link to the application on our website. I also want to mention that though we are strongly encouraging people to apply electronically, and City Hall is still closed and will remain closed through the 17th, but we will be offering for 1 day from 10 to 2 o'clock on Wednesday the 15th, the ability for, if you'd like to provide a hard copy, to bring that by City Hall, and we'll have a table outside, and I'll get to meet you personally, and we'll collect those applications on that day. But again, we're definitely encouraging right now for you to apply electronically and only to bring paper applications in as a last resort. And that will be, again, Wednesday, next Wednesday, between 10 and 2 o'clock here at City Hall. Also, the webpage has a number of frequently asked questions that we've attempted to identify and provide answers for you there as well. So again, I would highly recommend going to our website. You'll find a tremendous amount of information. Also, the guidelines are available under the questions section, and you can click on that and have a PDF copy of the entire 7-page guidelines associated with the grant program. So we hope to be able to distribute these funds by the end of the month, or the first week of August is our target time right now. Also, to let you know, if you've already received other federal CARES Act related funding, you're not disqualified, but we're giving priority to those that have not received any funds so far. And then after we've addressed that, if there are remaining funds, we'll then open it up to those that have already received other funds. If we have more applicants than we have funds available, then we will also be utilizing a lottery system to make sure there is an appropriate distribution of those funds as well. So I think that's a really just a brief overview and summary of the program. Hopefully, if you have any questions, the site can help you with that. If not, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I'd be more than happy to take phone calls, emails as you venture through this. We want to make sure that you're well advised, well versed as you apply for this grant opportunity. So with that, Corey, that concludes my overview. And again, I'm available to help however I can and answer any questions folks might have.
Les, I know that, so one of the things that came out of the webinar that I attended yesterday was not to rush and fill out your application. This isn't a first come, first serve. When we talk about limited funds, this is not a first come, first serve opportunity. You really want as complete of an application, and once it's in, it's in. Is that correct?
Corey, yes, thank you for bringing that up. It's a great point. There's no prioritization based on when you submit. So we will not be even looking at the applications until after it closes, and then it's equally viewed. It doesn't matter as to when you submit it. And yes, we encourage you to please go through the criteria, the guidelines very carefully, and make sure that you submit a comprehensive application.
And for those businesses that have been closed, and unfortunately perhaps are still closed due to some of the restrictions, my understanding is that priority is going to be given, not only are you going to give priority to people that may have not received some of the CARES Act funding, but you're also giving priority that was most affected, some of our businesses that are most in need. Is that also correct?
Well, we again, not exactly. I mean, we
Maybe
are.
not.
We're certainly it's something that we're looking at very carefully. But the prioritization, if you will, is only based on if you received previous CARES Act funding or not. Meaning that closed or not, if you haven't received any funding, and I know there are a number of our local businesses that have not, we want to make sure that they receive something during this period of time. And then the lottery system is not based on anything other than being qualified at that point. So, unfortunately, we really can't go into that level of detail. But again, we're hopeful that with the amount of money we have and with our estimate of being able to serve 70 to 80 of our small businesses, that those that are really in most need will get that funding will get to them.
All right. Well, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. First and foremost, Les, I can't thank you enough. I think I may have said it a couple times during this presentation, but I really can't say it enough. Thank you for all you're doing for our community. Thank you to the City of Seal Beach to continue to reach out and make sure our much needed businesses are getting much needed services. And thank you to all of our panelists. Like I said, I am the very proud president of the Seal Beach Chamber. Our chamber continues to interact and thrive in the case in this really adverse time, and that is due to so many people that you see on this screen today. So without further ado, we're going to close off the meeting. This is a recorded meeting, and it will be available on our social media sites and on our website in case you'd like to brush up and really get a chance to take a second look at all the amazing people, those amazing volunteers that you heard about that are running for our Seal Beach board. How we take direction in the critical year moving forward as we continue to grow will be based on a lot of the people that you see on this screen today. So thanks again. I appreciate your time, and we will see you next time.